I am going to be introducing something that is brand new. It's only been out for a few weeks. I just got it in the mail, and it is the Juicy Boost book palette. If you want to see me swatch it, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and yes, it's going to be another swatch fest. I have this Juicy Boost book palette to swatch. I decided to go for the book version. And I want to show you what came with it before I open up the package. And it is this booklet that is twofold. Of course, it's marketing for Coloured Raine, but it is also, so this is the marketing part, so it tells you what everything costs on the back. And they have a juice tumbler and an umbrella, as well as the two versions of the palette that both include 18 shadows. They have kind of, it makes me think, it gives me 80s vibes, this cover. Just the color nature of it all in general. And then it has inside this booklet that you get with the palette, different recipes for juice drinks, which I think is kind of neat. Green toxin detox, citrus immunity booster, beet apple juice, carrot pineapple booster, green flexin, and beet and treats. And in the middle, you also have the colors, swatches of the colors and the names. Well, not swatches, but they're representations of the colors and the names. And also on this side, as an information piece, is the benefits of the various fruits that you might be using in some of the recipes, which I thought was kind of interesting. So it's called Benefits of Ingredients. And we've got detox booster, inflammation, weight loss, not sure about that, but whatever. And so there's obviously somebody from the ownership or some higher level or trusted employee who's really big into juices, because I've never seen a theme like that come out of Coloured Raine. I think it's very different. It's very different. Let's just say it's very different. And in part of my life being a personal trainer, I find that theme really, really interesting. It's like two worlds are colliding for me, the world of health and the world of makeup, because makeup has nothing to do with health except for skincare, but skincare is another category, isn't it? Makeup's not health or whatever related. Anyway, so this book palette comes with a cover, which is quite usual for Coloured Raine, but what's different about this cover is that it has the end to it, whereas in another cover, for example, the Safari Raine or the Power palette, let me show you one of those, it's open on both sides. But with this one, it's only open on the one side. So I thought that was an interesting change. And in some cases, it's a full box with a flap on one side. So they're not necessarily always consistent with what they do for their outer packaging. I don't have a preference, I'm just letting you know. So for the product, it does look like there was a sticker added on the back, and that has the ingredient lists. For a number of the shadows, and it says blend the powders into your eyes. Into your eyes? I think they meant to say onto your eyes, using gentle sweeping movements as required. Yeah, not into your eyes. Anyway, so there's nothing else really mentioned other than not intended for use in the immediate eye areas: strawberry apple, cranberry vanilla, sweet ruby, berry beet, and watermelon detox. That alert or statement is actually not applicable in most countries. For example, I'm in Canada. That doesn't matter. So I think that FDA regulations still haven't kind of caught up with the rest of the world, maybe? Maybe not the rest of the world, but a lot of industrialized countries don't have an issue with the pigments that they have to give a disclaimer on, which is why a lot of palettes now are called pressed pigment palettes, because that way they get around the whole issue of having to write those comments. Now, it could be wrong in some of what I'm saying, but that seems to be the reality these days. So it is a very, very cute book. And let's see how it opens up. Now, I think there are plastic dividers. Yeah. So you'll see there's a plastic divider after the first level. There's a mirror here. And here is the first level of the palette. And then there's a second level that also has a second plastic divider, which is good. Although with it being a very glossy side, this can act as a plastic divider just on its own, really. And this is the second half of the palette. Now I decided to go for the book version because it's the same size as, or I expected it to be, yeah, it's pretty much the same size as the Power palette. It's virtually the same. Not thickness, but in width and height. And I thought it would just store better with most of my Coloured Raine palettes. So I think I have 6, and so 3 of them will stack really nicely together. So that's why I chose this one. From a practical perspective, I think that the flat lay all 18 shadows is pretty practical, but I like the compact nature of it for deciding it to take it with me somewhere. I like the compact nature of it, and I do feel like the thickness of it and the sturdiness of it will protect the shadows better than it being in one flat layout. Now for the part you're all waiting for, right? We're going to get into swatches. So what I'm going to do is there are 6 rows of 3 that make up the 18 shadows. I'm going to do the first 9 from the first page of the book, so to speak, and then go into the second page of the book and put 9 swatches on each of my arms. And as usual, I'm going to get nice and up close and personal with you and the camera, and that way you can really see what all of these shades are like. Now so far, because there was a 10-day delay in me getting this, so I'm a little bit later than other YouTubers, and my apologies, I had no control over the post. Coloured Raine had to send it to me twice because the first one never left California as far as I could see, and so I had to ask for it again, and yeah, after it not moving for 10 days, they sent me another package, for which I am extremely, extremely grateful. Thank you, Coloured Raine. Your customer service was really great once we kind of got sorted out that it had been shipped, but no, hadn't really left whatever location it was in. All right, now let's get into swatching. So we have the first, oh, why not take the plastic off from the mirror? That's just getting to be a tradition to do this on camera. Okay, so I have the corner here. Okay, it's officially in use. All right, so let's do the first row. So we'll do this row first, and I will do it on this arm. So let's go with Blueberry Burst. Kind of goes with my nail polish today. Coconut Water, which looks like a matte white, and Cucumber Avocado, and I love that color. I really enjoyed Mantis, so I still enjoy it, obviously. Mantis from the Tiny Marvels palette by Mel Thompson and Sydney Grace. Wow, and so I expect to like Cucumber and Avocado Toast. Avocado? Oh, just avocado, not avocado toast. I'm thinking of the BH Cosmetics palette. So this one is Blueberry Burst, and it definitely is a burst of blue. That is really pretty. Now we have Coconut Water, which I enjoy. Don't have it very often, but I enjoy it. It's not very pigmented though. And this one is going to turn into more of a neon, which I'm not mad at. I like limey yellows, and it looks pretty bright, so let's see what that looks like. So I'm going to re-swatch all 3 of those. I have been looking forward to this palette because It is so bright and vibrant compared to a couple of their recent releases. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my Power palette and I love my Safari Raine palette. I have no complaints. It's just really neat to see this kind of color story coming from Coloured Raine. I'm really, really happy about it. Okay, that was Blueberry Burst, and now we've got Coconut Water, and we have Cucumber Avocado. I think that's a really good name for that. And the shadow names are really on point for the theme of this palette. This is going to be very nice for the brow bone or to lighten up some colors. I like all three of them right now. I think they're pretty neat. I'm going to wipe off those fingers and let's go for the second row. Okay, the second row is all pinks. And we have Sweet Ruby. I'm really liking the texture of those first three on the left. So Sweet Ruby, Pink Grapefruit, and Cranberry Vanilla. I'm liking the number of mattes, at least on this first part of the book. So we have Sweet Ruby, Pink Grapefruit, and Cranberry Vanilla. Okay, let's go for a double swatch of those. Okay, and my hands are still so dry from a bunch of cleaning, the new reality these days. If you're not aware, my gym is actually part of our house, and I am cleaning between every class, all of the equipment, and so it's brutal on my hands. All right, that looks really great. Sweet Ruby, Pink Grapefruit, and Cranberry Vanilla. I'm liking the mattes. I really, really am, and I'm delighted with these guys. They have quite a punch of color to them. And here are the fingers in case you're curious. Let's go with the third row. Lemon Wheatgrass, Citrus Zinger, and Ginger Bay. Ginger Bay, that's an interesting color. So hopefully you can see the pan properly. Okay, let me try those. So this looks like a gold, but with a green background sometimes. Oh yeah, it's very gold. With the green background, it's hard to see a little bit. Yellows and greens are harder to see on a green background. It's just similar to the color, right? So here are the three. The last row on the first page. Holy cow, but I expect nothing less from Coloured Raine. Look at that gold. Waha! And that one is the Citrus Zinger. Another nice matte. And then finally we've got Ginger Bay. Somehow I think these two, the names should be reversed, but who am I to say? Fingers, and we're going to go in for a second swatch. Here we go. That gold, it really, the first, fourth, and seventh shadow, those really foiled ones, they really don't need a second swatch, but you know, I don't want there to be any doubt on the swatches, so we'll just treat them all the same. It's a neat color story, it really is. And to a certain extent, this feels a little bit neutral just because I think those could play really well together without being too punchy, although the gold is, look at this thing. Those really attract attention, but the mattes, you could definitely do a very nice light look with the mattes. I'm seeing combinations. I'm super happy so far. The first page, well, let's just say this palette is a page turner because I can't wait to get to page 2. So let's start page 2 and we'll do it on this fresh arm. So just a reminder what the second page looks like. And it does look like it's all mattes, doesn't it? It is all mattes. I'm not upset by that whatsoever. I'm really enjoying the mattes in this palette. And this is all mattes. That's great. So the first row is greens and blues, and we have Mint Leaves, Energy Boost, and Kale Yeah. I like that. I am a big fan of kale chips, but I don't buy them very often because they're expensive. Whew. Who says that? They're expensive. That's Kathleen Lights. I haven't watched one of her videos in a while. I find her quite entertaining though. Oh, and if you're curious, the book does stay open. So I had it open for the swatching, and I just put it on the counter, and it didn't flop back down. So that's kind of nice. Something to know. Okay, so we have Mint Leaves. What a neat green. It's kind of like between a neon green and a grungy color. Cool. Energy Boost is the next one. Now, I'm not usually big on bluish turquoise, but that one's not, I can get on board with that one, especially on maybe the lower lash line. I could get behind it. And then Kale Yeah. Oh, that is deep green. Nice. Now that reminds me of Safari palette vibes right there. Okay, so there's a lot of saturation of color in these, and I'm going to double swatch, but I think that you might agree with me that they don't really need it, which for a matte, that never happens. Virtually never happens. Once in a while with the black or something, but here's the second go. Look at the brightness of those first two, right? They are kind of neon, at least in the pan. And as they, oh, okay, there seems to be a white base, so it got brighter, a little bit brighter. Let's see what happens with the blue. So the first one again was Mint Leaves, and this one is Energy Boost. Yeah, it looks like if you can get the white base to layer on, it gets lighter. And then Kale Yeah. Well, that would definitely work to deepen up a look. That Kale Yeah is pretty intense. What a neat color story. It's just so different from the last number of releases. I'm just so intrigued. Now the next row is very much berry colors, as I wipe my fingers here. And we've got Berry Beet, Berry Beet, Watermelon Detox, and Apple Strawberry. So let's get to swatching those. These shadows, the names are making me want a juice drink at this point. Juice sales are going to increase because of a makeup, an eyeshadow palette. Okay, Watermelon Detox looks pretty neon to me. Holy cow. Look at these. Neat. Berry Beet. Oh, I'm in love. Oh my goodness. Watermelon Detox. If you've been watching my swatching videos, you know I am a sucker for color. And Apple Strawberry. Okay, they feel quite dry, but that Berry Beet is really nice. It really went on super smooth. I will fluff on my fingertip. All right, let's go in for a second go. Now Berry Beet is a bit gritty, but that's not unusual for like a fuchsia purpley pink. Watermelon Detox is also kind of gritty. And Strawberry, all three actually are gritty. But with a brush, it doesn't really matter. Berry Beet. Oh, look at how that builds. Oh my goodness. Do you get that? Oh my goodness. I didn't go hard in the pan or anything. Watermelon Detox. Let's see if we're 2 for 2 on this. Not quite as much, but it builds up. This is what I would have expected, but that berry beet is something else. Okay, and then this one is apple strawberry. That also built quite nicely, but this one, wow. Okay, I'm not sure about this one so much, but I do like these two quite a bit. The watermelon, is it watermelon? Even the name, Watermelon Detox, I have trouble remembering the name because it's kind of a weird combo to me. But yeah, I still think it's a decent row. It's just, I feel like the berry beet just blows them out of the water so much that it just makes these guys look terrible because that swatch is just so captivating, really. Yeah. I could look at that one all day and I want it on my eyelids. That is so nice. Okay. Squirrel! Distracted by an eyeshadow. Okay, now we've got the last three, which are pretty neutral, really, compared to the rest of the palette. So we've got Turmeric Shot, Orange Carrot, and we have Sweet Potato Mango. That sounds like an interesting combo. Sweet Potato Mango. All right, let's see how these do. This orange might be pretty bright too. It looks like it. Again, it looks like a white base. The medium orange looks like more of a typical orange, and then we've got a brown. So it looks like Kale Yeah and Sweet Potato Mango are somewhat of anchor colors. Yeah, I would say that those two, as far as neutral anchors, that Kale Yeah and Sweet Potato Mango are going to be the base of a number of looks. Not necessarily all of them, obviously, but I think they might be. So that's the Turmeric Shot. It does definitely look like the spice. And then we've got Orange Carrot. That's a great name for it. Very much orange, very much carrot. And it has a lot of pigmentation. And that's the first pass. I mean, these guys might rival each other. And then we have Sweet Potato Mango. I could definitely see that as a transition / crease shade for sure. Look at how colorful that is. Insane. Okay, I'm going to go back in. This is the last set of swatches. Then we can superimpose them and really take a look. Or stack them. I keep saying superimpose, but the perfect word would be stack. All right, that Turmeric Shot. Orange Carrot. Yeah, look at how that layered up. And then Sweet Potato Mango. That is some pigmentation. And the fingers one more time. Okay, I'm just going to wipe my hand and we are going to stack my two forearms and just take a look at the whole color story all in one. And I was a little nervous because of some of those kind of weird love it but don't love it kind of reviews. And so I just want to have a chance to take a look at it myself. Now, of course, this is not eye application, right? So there's a certain limit to what I can say at this point. I am very happy with the mattes. At least from a swatching perspective, mattes don't usually swatch this well. So that is beautiful. I love these three. So there are only three that are punchy foiled shadows in the palette, but I think that they picked three good colors to do so. One thing that I might have liked would be something that was done in the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde. I think it's called something Moon. Can't remember the name. I'll put it on the screen. And it is kind of a sheer white glittery topper, but translucent white glittery that can basically transform any matte shadow. And I think that it would have been nice to have one of the like a fourth shadow to accompany these delightful shadows, to be able to just have a glittery topper on top of any of the mattes. Of course, you can go into another palette and create that, but I think that this palette would have benefited from that. Just a thought right now. The pinks are definitely really nice. I think this pair of yellows is pretty nice. You can go with a very light yellow. You can have more intensity. This one has a bit too much orange for my taste as a yellow, but that's just a personal preference. I like this one, and I think I'm just going to re-swatch it for a sec. Just want to re-swatch this one. I think it's going to make a difference. Just for what I'm thinking here. And so, yeah, I think that this is a really nice color for the crease or inner to 2/3 of the lid or something like that. I think that it could hold its own. I just wanted to swatch it one last time. It is very buildable, and I think that it would look really nice with a bunch of combinations. I'm good with the white. I think that that is reasonable as a mixing color, and would look good and not overpowering on the brow bone. You can build it up. I am very partial to the kale color, and the reason being, I think it will help me deepen up just about any other color in the palette. I think it will act reasonably like a black. I can end up being wrong. I will definitely let you know as I'm using the palette. But as far as colors that call to me right away, I'm going to say the white, the green, this yellow for sure, the khaki. I have to try this one for sure. And I do like reds as well, so that works. And I'm not sure, I think this one sheared out reasonably well, but we'll see. So those are the ones that I'm really attracted to, and I am also attracted to the blue for the lower lash line. I think it would look good. And these guys, I'm reserving judgment. I think I need to try it on the eye. I'm not sure. And I do want to show you something on the palette. Hopefully you can see without being blinded by the mirror. Do you see the crumbliness? So those three shadows are pretty chunky, at least in the swatches, and I'm not used to seeing that much fallout from a pan. So especially, well, it's mostly, no, I was going to say it's mostly coming from the pink, but that's not true. There's as much blue as there is pink, and nearly as much from the gold, which is called lemongrass. Lemon wheatgrass. So it's something to know, or to note, because I wonder if it's going to flake like that on the eye and be a mess. So it might be that I will try them just as is, but I probably will be using mixing medium, a mixing medium or a glitter glue to use these. So I'm going to try to tip it more towards you so that you can see more, but I'm probably going to lose some of the product as it falls. Oh no, it's still there. So do you see what I'm talking about? So and of course swatching is a little bit more brutal on pans than using your brush, but with these I would suspect a lot of people would use their fingers. So anyway, something to note. I think I've talked enough. So what about you? I'm just going to do this again. What about you? What do you think of these swatches and the color story for this palette? I would love to hear your thoughts, and you know I'm going to do a first impressions at a minimum and probably a little bit of a lookbook of somewhere between 1 and 5 looks. If you have some color combination preferences and or some specific shadow requests, please let me know. I would love to hear what you are excited about in this palette, and I can use them sooner than later. Thank you so much for entertaining another Swatch Fest with the Juicy Boost book palette. Very interesting packaging. I'm looking forward to seeing if Coloured Raine decides to keep going with this packaging or not. Any kind of change like that is a risk. I applaud them for it, and I'm also curious to see what the reaction is. So let me know about that too. Do you like the book, or do you want more the flat lay 18 pan if you had the choice, regardless of whether you're going to get this one or not? What do you think of the design options for the palette as far as how you can get your hands on it? That's enough from me. I will stop yakking. I will just say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.